And welcome into this week's edition of the Colin Carmichael Radio Show. We are live at Fuzzy's, a hopping place tonight as students are coming back for the fall semester, which begins in just 6 days from now. But again, you can order online, use any of the apps, Grubhub, and all the ones that you can do to be able to order and have it sent to you, delivered to you. Use Fuzzy'sTacoShop.com as well. Check out their menu there or eat in or carry out from the restaurant here. We're located down on the world-famous Strip in Stillwater. Colin Carmichael is here. The head coach has the preseason almost completely out of the way and now getting ready after the exhibition win against Missouri for the regular season to begin Thursday night against Stephen F. Austin. Coach, welcome in. And I know it was good to get that game in and get through it pretty well and win it. On top of that, that had to be a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, it was just good to start. You know, it's been a long summer and, we've had about 10, 11, 12 days of preseason or something. And so just to get a game against an opponent with different jerseys on and get to test ourselves against them was great. To do it against an SEC team that obviously great athletes on their squad really tested our young group. And so overall, yeah, and to get the win made it even better. So lots to take from that game, but certainly a good start.
Both teams in the first 3-4 minutes had a couple of real good opportunities. You guys did against the wind at the south end, and they carried a couple toward the north end. And then we went a while where I won't say it was a lull because there were things going on, but each team playing a lot of people and trying to feel each other out and so forth. And then in the last 4 minutes, and in fact within 45 seconds of each other, 2 goals, both by freshmen who had not played before, Loudon Wilson, Lexi Lee, and both on opportunities that came from set-up plays.
Yeah, I mean, excuse me, the way the first half went is probably what I would have thought. We were pretty disjointed. So many new kids, so many young kids. There was a lot of nerves, a lot of tension, a lot of anxiety on the field. So you could sense it. I think Missouri were a little bit ahead in their preparation. They'd already played Memphis earlier in the week, so they kind of got those jitters out, I think. And so, yeah, we were pleased with how we started the game, created those 2 really nice looks. Then Missouri kind of settled in. I thought they took it to us a little bit without being super dangerous. And then, yeah, the last part of the half, we made some substitutions with about 15 minutes left in the half. And it kind of flipped the game in our favor. Those kids all contributed. And, yeah, the 2 goals we scored I thought were really nice combination plays by our team, something we had worked on in training. And, using the flanks to get in behind Missouri's back line is what we did. And we're able to get 2 goals. And, boy, for 2 freshmen to get the goals, it really bodes well for not only this season, but maybe the future as well.
And as those don't count in the standings or in the overall stats of the season, you can bet they won't forget them.
Yeah, I mean, Loudon, it's funny because, she was here all spring, but I asked her after the game, I said, well, how do you feel? She goes, yeah, that game was a little different than the spring. It had a different feel to it, bigger crowd, under the lights, against an SEC opponent.
Like a real game.
Yeah, it was real. And so even someone who had played here all spring, she felt the jitters and the nerves and the adrenaline. So you can't imagine how Lexi Lee and all those other freshmen felt. So anyway, like I said, those young players are very talented. They needed that game just to get kind of the nervous energy, I guess, out of the way. You would like to think now when we play Thursday, that's gone, and now they can just settle in and play, and that's what we're hoping.
Yeah, and then in the second half, Missouri kind of took it to you guys a little bit, outshot you. I believe it was 15-4, and they must have missed a half a dozen point-blank shots.
Yeah, it's interesting. You go back and watch video, and, sometimes you look better, sometimes you look worse. It just depends. But the first 20 minutes of the second half, Missouri should have scored 2 or 3 goals without question. But from our perspective, it was us trying to play out of the back and presenting them with the ball in dangerous areas, as opposed to them really breaking us down.
I use the term clearance, and that's getting it out of your own zone in hockey, basically, so you can try to get it past halfway and go down and score. That was difficult.
Correct. And what we talked about with our team is we've been working on building out through that and not trying to play long. Last year we felt like we went long too much and gave up possession. So, of course, all preseason we work on possession. Missouri pressed us, and an experienced player is going to go, well, wait a minute, they're pressing us. We're just going to go long and, to your point, clear it out of our end.
Yeah.
But our kids kept trying to persevere through, and that's fine because that's what we had told them to do.
Learning experience, yeah.
Yeah, and so, of course, as you would imagine, today and tomorrow, that's what we worked on is, hey, we're going to build, but when a team put that many players into the press, it's okay to go longer. It's okay to bypass it. And same with the goalkeepers. our goalkeepers kept rolling it out to the center backs, and we're like, well, you might want to just punt this one, So, again, that's why you play the game. That's why you get these young kids in, and thankfully we survived it. But to be fair, I thought the last 15, we came back into the game, and we created a couple of good
Denied
looks.
them a little bit, yeah, and then you had a couple opportunities.
Yeah, so it was an interesting game. It kind of ebbed and flowed, but like I said, overall, happy to win. Got a lot of players on the field. A lot of players got their first minutes as a collegiate athlete. That'll help them. And, we're just excited now to start looking ahead at the real games and get going.
There were a bunch of people that got at least 20 to 25 minutes, and some a lot more.
Yeah, I think we played 17 field players and 3 goalkeepers, so that's quite a high number.
That's 20 total, yeah.
Yeah, so only a couple of kids did not see action, and a couple of those kids have been coming off injuries, so we wanted to be careful. So it was good. Like I said, without looking at the box score, I think we had at least probably 10, 11 new players who played who hadn't played here
before.
before.
That's what I was just looking, yeah.
Yeah, so when you think of that, going out and beating an SEC team under those circumstances, we'll take it for sure.
And the 3 goalies did well. All 3 of them did.
Yeah, first and foremost, they got a shutout. And, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's not easy to do. And so we wanted to play 3 of those kids. We have 4 goalkeepers, and it would just have been really hard to play all 4, I think. So we played 3. Ari played 45 in the first half and did well. And then Caroline and Grace split the second half. So we wanted all of them to get a game. And now we're kind of evaluating them this week in training, and we'll decide what we want to do for the weekend. But, all 3, Caroline Dale was a freshman, and that's her first collegiate game, and you wouldn't have known it. I thought she did great.
Played 22 minutes with 2 saves.
Did really well and really had control of that back line. And Grace Gordon's interesting because we haven't been doing a lot of kicking from the goalkeeper in preseason. Like I said, we've really worked on rolling out and playing out from the back. But late in the game, we told Grace, hey, just let's be smart and play long. And she crushed a couple of punts deep into the other team's half. And we thought, wow, didn't know she could do that.
And the other thing is, when you have the wind at your back, you have to take advantage of that sometimes. And we've seen that over the years with everybody from A.D. French on down who has played that position.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weapon. And at the very least, what you can do is turn the other team's back line and make them face their own goal, right?
That's what they call it in football.
Flip the field.
Yeah.
And then just step up behind it. And we did that 3 or 4 times. So it's a nice weapon to know now when Grace is in there that we were able to do that.
Still, as I mentioned, 22 minutes, 2 saves. Grace nearly 24 minutes and 4 saves. And then Ari Purifoy, as you mentioned, played the entire first half and looked good.
Yeah, she did fine. She had 1 bobble, I think, on a corner, but made 1 really nice save as well. So it's interesting with the keepers. They all have good qualities and things that they need to improve. And so, if we can keep them all pushing each other and keep the competition level high in practice, it should make them all better. And we'll have some tough decisions to make on who's going to get those minutes moving forward.
Yeah, and it starts for real on Thursday night as Stephen F. Austin is here in town. A 7 o'clock match. Season tickets are on sale. We're going to talk about that a little bit here in the next segment. And again, it's a 6:45 broadcast where you're hearing us right now. And a reminder that next time you're going to be in Stillwater, make sure you shop and dine at these locations. And that includes Merrifield Office Supply, Freddy's Frozen Custard, Charlie's Discount Drug, Dupree Sports, Smokin' Joe's Stilly, B&C Business Products, Furniture Showcase, Mexico Joe's, and Eskimo Joe's. These great Stillwater businesses are proud sponsors of the Visit StillwaterOK.org Shop and Dine program that supports all OSU athletic teams. And in this day and age of NIL, it can support in a number of different ways. And by the way, I'll mention this before we get out of this first segment. If you're interested in helping NIL in any way, you can go to okstate.com, the new and improved website, and you can look up there at the top right, and on every page you go to, doesn't matter if you're looking at the soccer schedule or softball or whatever it might be, you will see that link. Click on that, and you instantly get taken and to an area where you can start looking at that. And if you want to help out and student athletes get some of that help in many different ways, there's various ways you can do that. Pretty much, not everything, but pretty much legal now. And what you couldn't do before, a lot of that you can do now.
Yeah, it's a great way to support our young women, but any of the student athletes at OSU.
Sure.
And, you can do it through business arrangements. You can donate to some of the collectives and things like that. So a lot of ways to help out and get involved. And when it benefits our student athletes, it gives us a better chance to compete on the field. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody.
Talk about tickets and things of that nature. You can get involved with soccer in specific in getting those season tickets before Thursday night's match. And that's up next as we continue our talk with head coach Colin Carmichael next on the Colin Carmichael Radio Show from Learfield.
1890